Hello friends, you are watching YouTube channel Grammar Guru. Today we shall discuss about William Shakespeare's great drama and great tragedy Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark. Friends, this topic is very important, especially those who are preparing for UP, TGT, PGT and TGT, PGT for any of the states. So one by one I will discuss all the summary about the lesson, about this drama, this tragedy and all important characters, some important quotes, some important lines which are very important for the forthcoming examinations. So watch the complete video. The very first I will talk about actually what kind of this play is. This is a great tragedy. This is great tragedy and this is written by William Shakespeare. Very common question. And it is supposed it was written between 1599 to 1601. And the most important feature is this is the longest play of William Shakespeare had written. So very frequently this question is come in the examinations. The whole plot is set in the land of Denmark, while some most important features I'm going to discuss. The play depicts the landmark in the Denmark, city Denmark, and this is a revenge tragedy. Hamlet, the prince who wants to take revenge of his father from his uncle Claudius, who has murdered his father, King Hamlet. So the whole summary, the whole story revolves around this great character, Hamlet. So how many characters, the important characters I will discuss one by one. The very first I must know how many characters are there and a brief summary about them I will discuss. Then in detail I will discuss all the characters. Let us know. Here are some main characters in the play. The main one of them is Hamlet itself. Yes. Claudius, you can see main character or villain in the play. Gertrude, mother of Hamlet. Polonius, the old and the senior and the genius fellow in the play and played a very important role. Ophelia, you can see the heroine in the play. Laertes, he is real brother of Ophelia. Horatio, this is friend, very trusted friend of Hamlet. So some more characters I am going to discuss. If I talk about what the genre of this play is, yes, the genre of this play, this is tragedy, the greatest tragedy ever written, William Shakespeare, the longest play. The setting of the play is, I have already told, in the Denmark, right? So some main features next I will discuss. The very first I will discuss about Hamlet, the protagonist in this tragedy drama. Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark, and protagonist. What actually mean the protagonist? You can say hero in this drama. He is about 30 years old at the starting of the play. Hamlet, the son of Queen Gertrude and the late King Hamlet. Some more features, let us know. Presently, he is the nephew of the present king. In other words, you can say the present king in Denmark is his own uncle Claudius. Yes, it is supposed as per the summary of this tragedy, his uncle Claudius has murdered his own father, the late King Hamlet. If I talk about character Hamlet, this is very melancholy, bitter and cynical, and full of hatred for his uncle's scheming, because I have already told, he has murdered his father. And he also discussed his mother's sexuality, because after the murder of his father, his mother herself get married to Hamlet's uncle Claudius. It is supposed he has murdered her husband. So Hamlet has bitterness for both Claudius, his uncle, the present king of Denmark, and his mother Gertrude, who after the death of his husband immediately get married to Claudius. So all these activity, all these main features, main points make the story more interesting and more romantic and more tragedy. Let us discuss the next main character in the play, that is Claudius, the present king of Denmark, and he supposed he has murdered the late King Hamlet, the father of Prince Hamlet. Yes, and he is the main antagonist in the play, and you can see the villain in this play. Claudius is a calculating, ambitious politician driven by sexual appetites. Some more features, more characteristics of his character I am going to discuss. The next important character in the play, this is Gertrude, the mother of Prince Hamlet and present queen of Denmark and widow of late King Hamlet. Now she had get married to her brother-in-law Claudius, and he supposed he has murdered her husband. She recently married to Claudius. Gertrude loves Hamlet deeply, no doubt. She loves Prince Hamlet very deeply. She is a shallow, but she is supposed to be shallow, be woman who seeks affection. So, some weakness of this character Gertrude, I am going to discuss some more things about her. Let us know. Next, a very important character, that is Polonius. Polonius is very important character. He is supposed the oldest one and the most sincere and the most trusted character in the play. The Lord Chamberlain of Claudius' court, no doubt. Pompous, cunning old man. Polonius is the father of Laertes and Ophelia. The main character in the play, Ophelia. Ophelia is the main character because this is the heroine in the play and the whole story revolves around her. The Laertes is also very important character in the play. We will discuss about those two characters. Let us know some more features, more important characteristics and more characters. Let us know. This is Ophelia, the main character in the play, the heroine of this tragedy. She is Polonius's daughter. Yes, Polonius, the most sincere and the oldest person in the court of King Claudius. She is a most beautiful young lady with whom Hamlet has been in great love. No doubt, Hamlet fell in love with her. Ophelia is a sweet and innocent young girl. Yes, who sees her father and her brother. Do you remember who was her father? It was Polonius, and her brother was Laertes. So she sees them dependent on men to tell. What does he say? She gives to Polonius. Let us know. Yes, dependent on men to tell her how to behave. She gives into Polonius's schemes to Hamlet. So no doubt, Ophelia has been very important character in the play. Even in her lapse into madness and death, she remains madly singing songs about flowers and finally drowning in the river amid the flower garland she had gathered. Through all the play, it is supposed, how did Ophelia die? Yes, through all the tragedy, through all the play, the question remains unsolved. How did she die? No doubt, she died while singing song about flowers and finally she drowning in the river amid the flower. So in this way she dies and left the readers and the audience in great sadness. Let us know some more character. This is next important character, Laertes. This character is also play very important role in the play tragedy, the Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark. He is brother of Ophelia and Polonius' son and Ophelia's brother. A young man who spends much of the play, yes, who has played very important part in the play, right? Laertes is clearly foil of a reflective Hamlet. Yes, so Laertes has very important role in the play. Let us discuss some more important characters. Next important episode that has taken place, it is the ghost episode. Who is the ghost in the play? The ghost the Prince Hamlet ever seen in the beginning of the play, it was the ghost of his father, the late King Hamlet. The spectator of the Hamlets recently deceased. The spectator of the Hamlets recently deceased father, the ghost who claims to have been murdered by Claudius. Yes, this is very interesting fact that ghost himself declares that he was murdered by his brother Claudius, the present king of Denmark. So calls upon Hamlet, this ghost calls upon Hamlet to avenge him. Yes, of course, this ghost himself declares and persuades Hamlet to avenge him. However, it is not entirely certain whether the ghost is what it is appearance. Yes, this is still unresolved question whether the ghost is what is appeared to be or not. This is still hammer question in Hamlet's mind. Whether it is something else, Hamlet speculates that the ghost might be a devil sent to deceive him and tempt to him into murder. Of course, Hamlet doubts whether this ghost, as he has declared, he was murdered by Claudius and he is the ghost of his father, King Hamlet. But Prince Hamlet doubts. And the question of what he be or where it comes from is never definitely resolved. Yes. So Hamlet always dilemma whether this ghost, as he declared, was of his father or not. Let us know some more other characters and their some important role played in the Hamlet. The next one important character, that is Horatio. This is Hamlet's close friend, yes, and played a very important role, who studied with Prince at the university in Wittenberg. The more important question very frequently asked, where did Hamlet study? It is Wittenberg. Yes, Horatio is loyal and helpful to Hamlet. Yes, Horatio has played a very important role and he had been loyal and helpful to Prince Hamlet throughout the play. And after Hamlet's death, it is Horatio who remains alive to tell Hamlet's story. Yes, only Horatio remained alive. So he has played very important role in the play, the Hamlet, the most and the largest play of William Shakespeare and the greatest tragedy. Let us discuss some more characters and their role in the play. The next important character, this is Fortinbras. Yes, this is Fortinbras, the young prince of Norway. Who is Fortinbras? This is the youngest prince of Norway, whose father, the king, also named Fortinbras. Fortinbras, his father's name also, was killed by Hamlet's father and also named Hamlet. Yes, the story goes on. Prince Hamlet's father, King Hamlet, in the Battle of Norway, killed Norwegian Princess Fortinbras' father, Fortinbras. Yes, now Fortinbras wishes to attack Denmark. Yes, for what? Because he wants to take avenge of his father and father's honor, right? So the story goes on like this, and this is also very important character I talked about. Let us discuss some more important characters, and as I am going to summarize these characters briefly, but I will discuss the whole summary in detail, and after that I will put some questions. The most important questions I have made, I will discuss later on. These would be very important for coming examinations. The next and the important character, they are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. These are two important characters. Generally, many questions are asked who were Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The both of them slightly bumbling courtiers. Yes, who were they? They were courtiers in the king's court and the former friends of Hamlet. Yes, they had been the friends of Hamlet from Wittenberg. What is the Wittenberg? This is the place of the university, and in that university Prince Hamlet had studied. So they both had been friend of Prince Hamlet, who were summoned by Claudius. Yes, who summoned them? The question may be raised, who summoned them? It was Claudius who summoned both of them, and Gertrude also, to discover the cause of Hamlet's strong hatred. Yes, strange behavior as Hamlet was doing because he was pretending to be mad. So King Claudius and Gertrude summoned both of them, called both of them to discuss and to know the actual situation of Prince Hamlet's mind. So let us discuss other characters. The next, the important character, this is Osric, the foolish courtier. This is a kind of joker who summons Hamlet to his duel with Laertes. Yes, who is Laertes? Laertes was the brother of Ophelia and the only son of Cornelius. Yes, so this is also important character. Very frequently question is raised. Name Osric. Find out in which play this character lies. So this is from Hamlet. Yes. Next one is the Voltimand and Cornelius. These two characters are also very important. They both had been courtiers whom Claudius sent to Norway. For what? To persuade the king to prevent Fortinbras from attacking. Yes. Who is Fortinbras? The prince of Norway who wants to take revenge of his father Fortinbras from the present king of Denmark, because it was supposed as account of the summary of the play. Prince Hamlet's father, King Hamlet, in the Battle of Norway, killed his father, King Fortinbras. So to avenge for that, it was supposed he is going to attack on Denmark. So Claudius sent both the people, Voltimand and Cornelius, the most sincere courtiers, to persuade Fortinbras not to attack on Denmark. Yes, let us discuss some important other character. Marcellus and Bernardo. These two characters are also important. Who were they? They were officials who first see the ghost walking. The question may be asked, who were the people who very first time sees the ghost walking rampart of Elsinore, and who summons Horatio to witness? Yes, so they were Marcellus and Bernardo, who summoned Horatio to witness the ghost the very first time they watches, and Marcellus is present when Hamlet first encountered the ghost. Yes, the question may be raised, when Prince Hamlet sees the ghost very first time, who was present there except him? It was Marcellus. Yes, the next character, that is Francisco. This is also important character. Francisco, a soldier and guardsman of Elsinore. This is a soldier and a guardsman at Elsinore. Francisco. Sometimes, very rarely, such a question are asked. The characters are though very not important, yet the question are framed. So may be asked, who was Francisco and in which play of William Shakespeare it falls. The next character, that is Ronaldo. Yes, Ronaldo, Polonius' servant. Who is Ronaldo? This is the Polonius servant who is sent to France. For what? By Polonius to check up on and spy on Laertes. Yes. Right? So Ronaldo also very important. He had been the servant of Polonius, the most senior person in the king's court. Let us know some other facts. After knowing the brief summary, I will discuss in detail. So Hamlet is considered among the most powerful and most influential tragedies of William Shakespeare. Yes, in English language, with a story capable of seemingly endless retelling and adaptation by others. In short, I can say this is the most important play, the most important tragedy, the largest one written by William Shakespeare. Yes, some more important features of William Shakespeare's play. This is ancient Greek tragedy to Elizabethan play, Elizabethan period. Who was the editor? It was Arden. Yes, it was Arden who edited this play. Some most important other features of this play are, yes, this book includes the story of ancient Roman Lucius Junius Brutus. Yes, so let us know some more important things that is to be discussed, and I think these are characters. I'll in one line I will discuss. This is Hamlet, the main hero in the tragedy, protagonist, you can say, son of late king and the nephew of present king Claudius. And who is Claudius? This is the king of Denmark, present king of Denmark, Hamlet's, Prince Hamlet's uncle and Hamlet's brother, King Hamlet's brother. It is supposed he has killed his brother and got married his sister-in-law of Prince Hamlet's mother. Yes, so this is the brief summary about the characters. Next one is Gertrude, Queen of Denmark and Hamlet's mother, and he had been the queen of King Hamlet. After murder his husband or King Hamlet, she got married to Claudius. And the Polonius, this is also important figure, the chief counselor to the king's court, and played very important role. He had one son Laertes and one daughter Ophelia, the main excellent character, glaring character in the play, in the tragedy. Next one is Ophelia. Ophelia I'm talking about, I have just discussed. This is Polonius' daughter. Yes, Polonius, the most senior, most important figure in the play. Horatio, this is very important and most trusted friend of Prince Hamlet. Laertes, Polonius' son and Ophelia's brother. So let us discuss some more important characters. They are, although I have discussed them earlier, but in short I want to discuss them again. They are Baltimore and Counselor Cornelius. Yes, they also had been courtiers over there. What they had played important role in the play. They both had been old friend of Prince Hamlet, and Gertrude and Claudius summoned them to know about the real position and the strengths activities of Prince Hamlet. Next one is they are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. They also had been courtiers and friend of Hamlet. Next one is Osric. This is important figure, courtier and the guardsman of Elsinore. Merciless, this is an official, and this is the main important character because it was the figure who was present when Prince Hamlet very first time was their host. And Ronaldo, this is also an important figure and this is an officer. So sometimes we overlook these characters, but questions are generally framed from here. So be careful and read everything carefully, right? So many questions after completing this video. In the next video I will upload some more important questions belongs to related to this tragedy, Prince Hamlet. After brief summary of the characters and the brief summary of this tragedy, I want to discuss the complete tragedy act wise, right? So Prince Hamlet of Denmark, the son of recently deceased King Hamlet, King Claudius, his father's brother and successor. Claudius hastily married Prince Hamlet's mother and King Hamlet's widow, Gertrude. This is an important feature I have already discussed. And Hamlet's mother and took the throne for himself. Right? But one important thing is that King Hamlet in the Battle of Norway has killed King of Norway Fortinbras. So Norway's Prince Fortinbras want to take revenge of Denmark. Yes, King Hamlet slew King Fortinbras of Norway in a battle some years ago. Although Denmark defeated Norway and the Norwegian throne fell to King Fortinbras' infirm brother. So this is some brief summary. And what happened then? Norwegian king's son, Prince Fortinbras, had been very eminent character. Yes, Norwegian king was killed in the battle by King Hamlet and the father of Prince Hamlet, and Fortinbras as the name of the king who was murdered, and his son's name was also Fortinbras. He wanted to take revenge. On a cold night on the rampart of Elsinore, Danish royal castle, the senators Ronaldo and Marcellus discuss a ghost resembling to the King Hamlet which they have recently seen. Well, what happened then? They bring Prince Hamlet's friend Horatio. Immediately they summon Horatio, the Prince Hamlet's friend, to witness the sight of that ghost. After the ghost appears again and again, they go to tell Prince Hamlet what they had witnessed. Yes, the very first time they called Hamlet, they have witnessed a ghost. So what happened then? Let us discuss. Further the story moves. Claudius grants permission for Polonius' son Laertes. Yes, Laertes to return to school in France and send an invoice to inform the King of Norway about Fortinbras. Who is the Fortinbras? I have already discussed. Claudius also questions Hamlet's continued grief for his father. Yes, and Claudius asks questions Hamlet why he had been grieved for his died father and forbids him to return to his university, Wittenberg. Very frequently, this is very important figure. What was the Wittenberg and where had Hamlet studied? Like this, questions are generally asked. Then what happened? So all these things I have already discussed. Let us discuss some more things. Polonius offers him advice that culminates in maximum to thine own self to be true. Yes, Polonius' daughter Ophelia admits her interest in Hamlet, and Leatrice warns her against seeking a prince's attention. Yes, who is Leatrice? Who is Ophelia? Yes, and who is Polonius? All these are very crucial figures in the this tragedy I have already discussed. So Polonius orders her to reject his advances. Yes, Polonius forbids her daughter not to fall in prince's love. Hamlet tells the prince that he was murdered by Claudius. The ghost of King Hamlet tells the Prince Hamlet that he was murdered by Claudius and demands that Hamlet avenge his murder. Yes, that ghost appeals Prince Hamlet to avenge him. Hamlet agrees and the ghost vanishes and disappears. Prince confides to Horatio and Centuries that from now on he plans to put the antique disposition on and act to sign has gone made. Yes, what does it mean? Hamlet forces them. Yes, Hamlet ordered them to swear to keep his plan for revenge secret. Yes, after the ghost episode, Hamlet, his friend Polonius, Horatio, and Fortinbras, and his next courtier, it was Polonius and other sentries. They have seen the ghost episode by their eyes, so he swears them not to disclose the secret of revenge. However, remains uncertain the ghost's reliability. Although Prince was not sure that actually what the ghost says is true or not, to what extent it was true. But after that episode, Prince Hamlet remains in confusion and tries to know the secret. Let us know some important things. Friends, this video may be somewhat larger, but I'll discuss all the main points. These are important in this tragedy. Ophelia rushes to her father, telling him that Hamlet arrived at the door the prior night, half undressed and behaving erratically. Yes, Polonius blames love for Hamlet's madness. But Claudius and Polonius immediately resolved to inform the Claudius and Gertrude about this episode. So, as he enters to do so, the king and the queen are welcoming Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, the two student appoints of Hamlet, to Elsinore, where they had studied together. Yes, what happened then? They both had been the royal couple who had requested that the two students investigate the cause of Hamlet's strange behavior and mood of behavior. Then a messenger from Norway informed Claudius that the king of Norway has revoked Prince Fortinbras for attempting to refight, as his father had died in the battle. So, in short, I can say Fortinbras was revoked by the king of Norway to take avenge of his father from Denmark. Then what happened? Friends, I'm discussing Shakespeare's very important tragic drama, the Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark. So, you must also know about William Shakespeare biography because many questions are generally framed from there. I have covered this one video. I'll uh, give. I'll share the link in the description. So it is suggest you to watch that video also. This is very important. Let's move further. Polonius tells Claudius and Gertrude his theory regarding Hamlet's strange behavior, and then he speaks to Hamlet in a hall of castle to try and learn more. But it is Hamlet who feigns madness and subtly insults Polonius all the while. Yes, well, it is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern arrive there, and Hamlet greets his friends warmly. Actually, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern had been his old friend at University Elsinore, and quickly discern that they are to spy on him. But immediately Hamlet comes to know that both of his old friends, it is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, actually had come to spy him. Yes, or investigate him. Hamlet admits that he is upset at his situation but refuses to give true reason. Yes, while important quote generally question is framed, that is, what a piece of work is a man. This line generally asked in various competitive examination, what a piece of work is a man. Yes, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern tells Hamlet that they have brought along a troupe of actors that they met while traveling to Elsinore. Yes, Hamlet, after welcoming the actors and dismissing his friends turned spies, asked them to yes to deliver a soliloquy. Soliloquy. This is very important term. Soliloquy. Soliloquy means something secret plan about the death of King Priam and Queen Hecuba. Yes, this is generally asked what was the play in the play Hamlet. So this is the story of play in the play Hamlet, and what the play Hamlet is going to perform. Hamlet is going to be performed by some players. This was the story of the death of the King Priam and Queen Hecuba at the climax of the Trojan War. Hamlet then asked actors to stage the murder of Gonzago, a play featuring a death in a style of his father's murder. Yes, it was fixed that the play was played in the manner his father, King Hamlet, was murdered, so as to infer the activities, infer the clue what actually had been when his father was murdered. Hamlet intends to study Claudius' reactions in the play. Thereby, he determined the truth of the ghost story of Claudius' guilt. Yes, as ghost has asked Prince Hamlet, but he immediately didn't believe. He want to perform a play, and in the same situation he want to create so as to he know what actually had been with his father. Yes, so let us know some more information. Polonius forces Ophelia to return Hamlet's love letter to the prince while he and Claudius secretly watched in order to evaluate Hamlet's reaction. Yes, all of them were trying to know actually what had happened with Prince Hamlet, why he had behaving very strangely. So they made a plan, and Polonius forces Ophelia to return Hamlet's love letter so as to know what actually he react after that. Hamlet is walking alone in the hall as the king and Polonius awaited Ophelia's entrance. Yes. Then Hamlet muses on thought of life versus death. When Ophelia enters and tries to return Hamlet's letter, Hamlet accuses her of immodesty and cries to get thee to nunnery. Yes, this could be generally framed as a question. Get thee to nunnery. Who said this? This is spoken by Prince Hamlet to his beloved. Yes, Ophelia. So it is unclear whether this is to show the madness or the genius in distress. But after this observation, Claudius come to know that Hamlet is not made for love. Shortly thereafter, the court assemblies was the play. This is important episode. Play in the tragedy Hamlet. After seeing the players king murdered by his rival pouring poison into his ear, and after that Claudius abruptly rises and runs from the room, and this is the time when Hamlet guessed actually what had happened, who is the real guilty of his father's murder. Yes, proof of his uncle's guilt. He immediately guessed that this is only his uncle Claudius who has really murdered his father, and what the actually ghost says it has itself proved. After this, Gertrude summons Hamlet to her chamber. Yes, after that episode, Gertrude became also sad and summons Hamlet to her own chamber, and she demanded an explanation why he has done so. But unfortunately, meanwhile, Claudius talks to himself about the impossibility of repenting since he still has possession of ill-gotten goods. Yes, Claudius talked to himself about the impossibility of the repenting since he still has possession of his ill-gotten goods. This is very unfortunate. His brother's crown and wife, Claudius himself whispers that he has obtained all the wealth and the crown and the kingdom and his wife of his brother. He sinks to his knees and he sits down and starts praying. But Hamlet, as he had been summoned by his mother, Gertrude, was on his way to visit his mother and sneaks up behind him, and immediately what is being done by Claudius, Hamlet sneaks up behind him but does not kill him, reasoning that killing Claudius while he is praying will send him to the straight to the heaven. Yes, this is the good opportunity for Prince Hamlet to kill his most and the bitter enemy Claudius while he was praying. But Hamlet supposed if he killed him right now, then he would be sent to the heaven, while his father's ghost is stuck in the purgatory, the queen's bedchamber. Hamlet and Gertrude. Yes, Hamlet and Gertrude fight bitterly. For what? And then Polonius is spying on conversation from behind a tapestry. When Hamlet and his mother were talking, right then Polonius was spying behind the curtain, and right then Hamlet became angry with Gertrude, his mother. She calls for help, and believing Hamlet wants to kill her, calls out for help herself because Hamlet was very angry. So Gertrude thought he would kill her, so she asked for help outside. Then Hamlet, believing it is Claudius, what happened then? Behind the curtain there was Polonius. He was spying, but Hamlet believed that it is Claudius outside the curtain, so he immediately stepped wildly, and it was Polonius who killed right then. What happened then? In the race, Hamlet brutally insulted his mother for her apparently ignorance for Claudius's villainy. Yes, he blames his mother that she was also accomplished Claudius in his father's murder. But the ghost enters and the reprimands Hamlet for his inaction and harsh words. Unable to see her, the ghost herself, Gertrude, takes him Hamlet's conversation with its further evidence of madness. Yes, what does it mean? When ghost is seen only Prince Hamlet, but it was Gertrude who was unable to see and what the conversation was going on with Hamlet and the ghost. It proves in the mind of Gertrude that this is the evidence of Hamlet's madness, and Hamlet is totally mad. So, after begging the queen to stop sleeping with Claudius, Hamlet leaves, dragging Polonius' corpse away. What happened then? Horatio, the very important character and the friend of Prince Hamlet, received a letter from Hamlet explaining that Prince escaped by negotiating with pirates who attempted to attack his England-bound ship, and two Gravediggers discusses Ophelia's apparent suicide while digging her grave. What happened? Well, Hamlet arrives with Horatio and banters with one gravedigger who unclears the skull of a jester from Hamlet's childhood. Yes. Next, friends, I think video would be larger one, but I think all the events, all the discussion, all the main features related to this play I have discussed. Let us know some more things. Leontes reconciles with Hamlet and reveals Claudius' plan. Hamlet rushes at Claudius and kills him as the poison takes effect. Hamlet, hearing that Fortinbras is marching through the area. Yes, what happened actually there? When there was play in the play, Claudius already made a plan. He had a glass of some juice mixed with poison. He wants, after fighting, if Leontes, the fighting that take place Laertes and Hamlet. If Hamlet lived alive, he will drink that juice or poison so as to his will die. And it had happened. Prince Hamlet drank that poisonous beverage, and while he was on the verge of death. Yes, right then, Hamlet, hearing that 14 brass, as I have earlier discussed who was 14 brass, he was marching forward to take revenge of his father. Yes, so Horatio, distraught at the thought of being at last survivor and living while Hamlet does not, so he will commit suicide by drinking the dregs of Gertrude poison wine. He will also commit suicide. Yes, who makes you? It was Horatio, the old and the trusted friend of Hamlet. But Hamlet begs him to live. But Hamlet begs Horatio to live on and tell his story, and in this way Hamlet dies. Horatio arms, proclaiming, "The rest is silence." The quote is a very important. Questions may be raised from here. And Fortinbras, the Prince of Norway, who was ostensibly marching toward Poland with his army, arrives there and Palace along with English ambassador bringing news of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern death. Yes, there was news that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern also died. So in this way, Horatio tells the whole story to Norwegian Prince Fortinbras, actually what had happened there and how Prince Hamlet died, Claudius and Gertrude and Laertes also died. So in this way, the whole story I have discussed in my own word. Many important things I have discussed. I have discussed all the characters in brief. After that, I will select some more important questions. They will fall in the next video. So wait till then. So friends, I think you find this video very useful, very important. If you think my efforts are good and going on right track, so please share and subscribe this video and subscribe the channel for the next video. So stay motivated, keep watching. Thank you.